I am in Gotebo, Oklahoma. It's about 9 a.m. on a Friday morning, late November. It is very quiet here. As you can see, this town is just about gone. Let me show you a map. You can see where I'm at in the state, kind of in the southwest quadrant, if you will. And here's population history. Back in 1930, there were 827 people here. Last census, 174. This was once a busy, thriving little town. It's almost gone. Let me give you a median age. Yeah, this used to be a laundromat, huh? Median age here is 60. And yeah, something like 75% of the town is over the age of 50, which tells us that it will probably be a ghost town eventually. I think there's only maybe 12 kids in the town. You know, when they grow up, they're not going to want to stay. Yeah, 20 years, this will be a ghost town. It'll be interesting to see. Obviously, there is no tax base to fix all this. Or is there? I'm going to give you the median household income for this town real quick, because it will shock you. $93,750 a year. That's $1,800 a week. It's going to be interesting to see what the houses look like, isn't it? Look at the chart there. 50% of the town makes between 100K and 200K. That's pretty good money, especially for very rural Oklahoma. From what I understand, though, about half the town is retired. So clearly they have some pretty good retirement income. But clearly it's not contributing much to the tax base, or if it is, they're not spending the money. It's just silent and a little bit creepy. The town was named after a famous Kiowa Indian chief. Aside from being, I guess, retirement income, ranching and farming is the top sources of income for Gotebo. See all the brick on the ground? Looks like the building just disintegrated, didn't it? Yeah, let me show you around. See the other side too. Of course, I'm shooting into the sun there, so you can't see too much. Man. Let me give you the ethnic breakdown. So I walk over to this other building. 88% white, 9% Native American, 1% Asian. The rest is mixed race or other. Let's do poverty. 8.6 overall. School-age children, 32%. See, that's really high, but there's only maybe a dozen kids here. 65 and older, 7. Yeah, I wanted to take a look at this building. American Legion Post number 190. Huh. Yeah, it's just in ruins, you know, this downtown. what this was like many years ago when it wasn't decaying. Well, let me give you cost of living. It's an 80, so it's 20% lower than the rest of the U.S. Look at Oklahoma, it's 86. Cost of living's already low in Oklahoma. Utilities is the highest at 98. And housing lowest at 48. Yeah, I've been walking around here for 10 minutes. Not a soul. Not a car. Nothing. So eerie, huh? They do have a fire department, though. It's right here. Wow, look at this. It's an old house. It looks like they have just left the door open and it's now a shelter for all these goats. There's quite a few of them here. That is something, isn't it? This is an abandoned church. Slowly disintegrating. Whoop! Ooh, the sun hit. Let me see if I can get over to the side here. I think you can see that, probably. Got a few abandoned houses over here. Doors wide open. These were what were once the schools of the town. Looks like that was the gym. They closed in 1991. So the few kids that are here, they're shipped to a town down the road, Gotebo Senior Citizens Community Center. Well, they're getting some use out of it. Former school. The rest of it looks like it's just falling apart, doesn't it? Well, let's see. Why don't I give you the median home value? $150,000. Driving around this town, that is a surprise. Look at this, 59% of the houses are 100K to 200K. 3% are 500K to $1 million. I'll see if I can find them. Looks like they used to have a gas station, but it is no more. Mobile home here with a carport. It's been abandoned a long time. Yeah, I haven't seen those 500,000 plus houses yet. This is pretty much what I'm seeing everywhere. They had 2 crimes here total last year. Town of 174. That's like 1.6 per 100 people. That's pretty low. The US is 2.3. I'm sure everybody knows everyone here. So if you were to commit a crime, people who live here will find out about it pretty quick. Eerily quiet. But look what I have found in kind of an unlikely place. That's right, cat. lording over this part of town. How you doing, fella? Cat sighting acquired. Well, I've cruised around the entire town, the city limits. I don't know where those $500,000 houses are, guys. Probably some rich farmers on the outside of town. Here's a big cotton field. Looks like the cotton's waiting to be picked. I am in Dill City, Oklahoma. Downtown is right up here. Actually, I'm in downtown. There's not much of it left, is there? And there it is right there. It's pretty empty. Well, let me show you a map real quick. See where I'm at. Population history, 1980. 649 people here. 2020 census 420. All right, well, the median age here is 47. It's older than the median age of the US, 39. Yeah, it's a bit older, the town. There's an abandoned church right up here on the corner. Second one we've seen, isn't it? All right, well, let me give you the ethnic breakdown. 81% white, 12% Hispanic, 1% black, remaining 6% is mixed race or other. Wow, this house is for sale. I can't see. Oh, it's 409. In case someone wants to look it up. I'm not sure the street. Let's see if I can see a street sign. McDonald. Can you see that? McDonald Street. All right. Yeah, someone look it up for fun. Like the last town, the school here has closed. 1993. Yeah, Dill City Elementary. And it's just sitting here empty. Burns Flat, Dill City Schools, home of the Dill City Red Devils. Dill City Schools, home of the Red Devils. Yeah, this looks like it was probably the gymnasium. Looks like an old gas station. Without a building. Here's the prices. These look pretty current, don't they? Old house there. Abandoned next to it. Well, all right. Here's the median household income: $39,375 a year. That's $757 a week. And let's do poverty too. 18.9 overall. School-age children 27. Yeah, that is pretty neat, isn't it? All right, well, here's the cost of living. 75, so 25% lower than the rest of the U.S. Utilities highest at 98, housing is at 32. All right, across the street, looks like maybe the fire department. That's what that looks like, doesn't it? Yeah, that is exactly what it is. Dill City Fire Department. Alright, let me give you the median home value of the town. $36,700. Yeah, no stores of any kind, no gas stations, no schools. Yeah, this town is just barely hanging on by a thread. On its way to being a ghost town. I am in Roosevelt, Oklahoma. I'm gonna head into the downtown. Let me show you a map real quick. You can see where I am. And population history, 1940 peak population, 744. Last census down to 254. This town, it's really interesting. I'm gonna pull off over here, tell you about it. Before I do that, it was named after President Theodore Roosevelt. I want to say 1901, and he actually came here in 1903 to see his namesake. That's not why the town is interesting now. Let me pull over here. And I'll tell you about it. All right, let's take a look at this abandoned old downtown. See what we can find here. I was reading that there are around 10,000 salvage cars here in the town and untold thousand parts. That is to say, car parts. This town is something of a car mecca. Returned my grandmother's table, no questions asked. If not, when I found out who took it, I will stomp your bottom. Well, that's letting people know in uncertain terms, isn't it? Yeah, I was told that there are car parts all over this town. I don't even know what to make of that. Wow. Let's see what else we can find. Median age here is 47, by the way. No, 48. I'm sorry. Yeah, so this town's a little older. Just gonna take a look at everything here. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Let me see inside. What's in there? Stuff, it looks like. Lots and lots of stuff. Yeah, I was told that there are some car parts in some of the buildings here. There's some tires. Well, we've got some eccentric people here. Yeah, look here. Bunch of glass, and car parts here. Yeah, this town is paradise for people trying to restore old cars, from what I understand. People travel great distances to come get their parts for their cars from here. And there's just all kinds of stuff there, isn't there? There's something cool up here I want to show you. Let me give you the ethnic breakdown first. 73% white, 13% Hispanic, 10% black, 4% Native American. Rest mix or other. Yeah, now there's an abandoned school up here. Let's go check it out. Well, now you've got to get a chuckle out of this. Apparently we have some artists in town. This is an old abandoned school. And it also looks like it's a place to store car parts as well. Was that old transmissions? And you got some car doors back there. Yeah, this is the school. It is, well, it is not teaching any kids, let's put it that way. It's the high school. High school, 1930. And can we see inside? Let's go take a look. Old Pepsi machine. Well, no, it's got... Well, wait a minute. Not really much to see in there, is there? Well, let's go see what's over here on the other side of the little downtown. Well, let's take a look in here. The door's locked. Yeah, I don't think that's stopping anyone. Yeah, lots and lots of stuff in here. Yeah, there's an old barber shop right here. Haircut $1, shave 75 cents. Yeah, what do you think's up there? I don't know if I would trust those stairs. I mean, I weigh about 200 pounds. It might be a little much. Hinton's Engine Depot. And this is just sitting wide open. More glass. Windshields and the such. Well. All right then, let's go look around the rest of the town. All right, well, driving into town, this is what you see. Look at that old house there. Lots of stuff. Let's put it mildly. More car parts. Old gas station. Big old grain elevator. Cool. Let me give you median household income real quick. $47,500 a year. It's $913 a week. And we'll do poverty. 30.2 overall. School-aged children 45. 65 and older 17%. Lots of old junked cars. Yeah, if you need hard to get piece for your car, cheap. I'm told this is where you come. The population loss is pretty evident where you drive here. Let me go ahead and give you median home value. It is $52,100. Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive, isn't it? You see a lot of this here. Crime is a little bit higher than what you might expect. Last year, 3.5 incidents per 100. US is 2.3. I don't know. Maybe people are stealing auto parts. Right? That could be it. Well, let's see. Cost of living, 74. 26% lower than the rest of the US. Utilities, again, highest at 98. Housing is 29. Lots of stuff everywhere. Yeah, the whole town is kind of junky, isn't it? A lot of beautiful old decay. Just waiting for photographers to come out, get some beautiful pictures. Far from the modern cookie cutter suburbs of the big cities, you certainly don't ever see anything like this in those places. Hasn't been anybody there in a long time. Anyone in that house, that is to say. Nor this one, right next door. I like this town. It's eccentric, and that's what I like. Yeah, they've just got all kinds of stuff here. It says that's a barber shop. Well, I'm in the town of Mountain Park, Oklahoma. Here's a map. You can see where I'm at. And in population history, peak population 1980, 557, last census 2020. And so this is downtown. There's a post office right there. And it looks like they actually have a police force. Buildings here. They do have a school that has students. I drove by it coming in, which is the reason I'm not going to show it. I saw kids playing in the schoolyard. I don't like to put kids on camera. Anyway, this is the first town that has a school. Kind of surprising, only 320 people here. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of cruise around a bit. Median age is 36. This town is younger. US is 39. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 65% white, 15% Hispanic, 4% black, remaining 16% is mixed or other. Look at the gender breakdown. 65% female. Wow. Well, all right. Median household income, $27,083 a year, $520 a week. That is very low. It's one of the lowest in the country. Poverty is 24.8. School-age children, 28%. 65 and older, 19%. All those numbers are about twice higher than the U.S. Back in the early 1900s, the railroad wanted to come to town, and they offered a local landowner $6,000 for the land to run the tracks and build a train depot. He turned them down, said it wasn't enough money. This was in 1901, I think. So the railroad, some loud dogs. So the railroad said, yeah, we're not going to give that or you any more money. And they went 2 miles south to the town of Snyder and ran the train through that and built a depot there. Well, we're going to check out Snyder next. We'll see how that paid off. But what is the lesson learned from this? I would say, don't be too greedy. $6,000 in 1901 was a ton of money. A lot of money. This town was founded in the 1800s, mid to late 1800s, as a trading post for cowboys and Indians. All right, here's the cost of living for Mountain Park, a 72. Wow, that's 28% lower than the rest of the U.S. Utilities highest at 98. Housing is a 24. And then here's the median home value. Ready for this? $35,000. That is very inexpensive. Obviously, lots of stuff there. You can always find yards with lots of stuff in these rural towns. And let's see, crime 1.6 per 100 last year. US is 2.3. So crime here is pretty good. It's pretty low. Lower than the rest of the US. Well, this is downtown Snyder, Oklahoma. They did end up getting the railroad. And as you can see, they clearly fared much better. I mean, the town, or the downtown anyway, a lot of it's empty, but there's some stuff here. And at one time, you can tell the town was pretty good sized. It looks like some cotton bales. And the train, celebrating the fact that they did get the train. Was this an old theater? Can't really tell for sure. Well, let me show you a map. And in population history, peak population 1980, 1848. Last census 1301. It's the biggest town we visited on this trip, this road trip through rural Oklahoma. Well, median age is 37. 2 years younger than the US of 39. Show you some houses here. Here's the ethnic breakdown. 71% white, 17% Hispanic, 2% black, 2% Native American, 1% Asian, rest mixed or other. How about if I give you median household income? $42,083 a year. It's $810 a week. Let's go ahead and do poverty real quick. 18.4 overall, school-aged children 24, 65 and older 11. Let's see what else is here. Why don't I give you median home value? $109,600. Whoa. That's a bit surprising, isn't it? Alright, so I took a look at crime. Had 18 incidents per 1,000 people here last year. US is 23. So, pretty low crime rate. I'm not seeing 109,000 median home value. Must be some big houses out on the edges of town. And the town got a lot of rail lines, didn't it? Wonder how long those have been sitting there. Those rail cars. All right, everyone, that's going to be it for here. Up next, we are heading up into the panhandle of Oklahoma. There's some really rural, out of the way, middle of nowhere towns there that I want to see and show you guys. So that's coming up next.